14th, 2024 meeting of the York City Historical Architectural Review Board. Call to order. Skian.
Present.
Zumbrun is not. Schermeyer is not. Blaine Gross is not. Buffington.
Yes.
Gifford.
Yes.
Lindy
I
Hutzel.
found it.
We have a quorum. The minutes from the previous meeting, October 10th. Have the members had time to review them, and do I have a motion to accept them?
Move to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? If not, I call for a vote. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
New business, first case tonight, 32 West North Street. I'm not going to read this proposed work. I'll let you.
Basically what we're doing is looking at the Yorks, which is York Academy School. There's an annex building right behind the school on their property. They're taking it and they want to make 6 classrooms out of it, just to kind of spread some of the students out because they need more space. They've been looking for more property in town to expand the school. And with that, they needed 7 classrooms. So we were able to get 6 classrooms in the original annex and put a small addition on the outside of the original building. Game plan there is to clean the brick up, keep as much or everything as original as possible, and the new piece of the addition match what we did on the annex for the youth school about 4 or 5 years ago, I guess it was.
So where would this be? I'm familiar with it.
So
I'm just in there.
so pretty much it's 35 Beaver Street, or what is it, Cherry Lane's the alley. So pretty much where York School is, you got a little bit of teacher parking, like kind of right behind there. And then the low section of the building behind that parking lot, then it goes to like a 4-story brick building. It's just a small, low annex.
Did you submit pictures?
Yeah, we submitted everything to you guys.
I figured you did.
If,
Yeah, I know it's missing from my file. I got it.
yeah, it's,
No,
it's,
there is none, this is all that I got, that's all that I got from,
This
Julie.
is- This is pictures.
Yeah, we do have a couple
is
drawings.
that it? No, I don't think so.
No, that's not it.
yeah. If it's, I have seen the renderings in the pre-development meeting. I believe it's done,
Matching what they previously did.
yeah, it's in line with the previous work that was done. I mean, I didn't have any objections to it when I saw it. I apologize that the photos aren't here. We revamped our process in-house and apparently it don't work.
You want to make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve it as submitted.
Yeah, I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? If not, I call for a vote. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Okay, the ayes have it.
And next,
You second that? Okay.
Like,
oh, guys, it is guys tonight. I found pictures. There was 2 sets of emails. Well, we voting on it.
Did I send to you?
Yeah, I got two sets of email. I got two emails about it. The first one that I opened didn't have it, the second did.
I mean, for me, it was, I don't know if you did for one or not.
What are we going to next?
218.
212, 218?
Yep.
Found
Brought
it.
the middle around if you want me to give it to you to pass.
I see pictures.
Do you have pictures?
Okay, the next case is
What do they look
212
like?
to 218 North George Street. And this is an application of exterior perforated wind down vinyl graphics on the storefront windows. Detailed view of this is provided. Go ahead.
So this is a commercial space that's been empty for a little while. There's Excelsia Injury Care is looking to move in there, and they want to use vinyl graphics on the windows to prevent people from seeing in rather than using blinds. They wanted to use these vinyl graphics. The signage itself would be on the two front doors, one with the address and one with use other door, which is that recessed area.
This is the picture.
That's the existing building, yeah.
Oh, okay, there's one after that that says Excelsia.
Yeah.
I'll trust you.
That's a little better. Yeah, there you go, there it's bigger.
So you want to put on that to see,
Over the windows.
Right, this would be over the windows, and then the signage itself would be on the doors.
is this like a unique sort of thing?
I don't know.
Well, it's a medical facility,
Yeah.
so they, you know,
Just trying to screen the.
they want to protect the privacy of the,
Is the areas on the upper portions of the storefront here, are those blacked out by
That's
another?
existing wooden.
Okay, everything above there in the storefront itself is already blacked out.
Yes.
Yes.
Ply wooden.
So I'm aware of these above, I'm asking about this area below.
That area is.
I should know this as it happens, I was one of the design architects in this project. Yeah, so are you intending?
I think that was it. I think that they were like that. I think so.
Okay, I just want to be sure that we're not covering up glass with
Application is
black.
435.
No,
That's
I
not
was
necessary.
the idea there.
That's
is to
too
keep that
much.
open just in daylight.
Okay, that's meant to be glass then. Okay, yeah, I was confused.
Yep.
Yep, we're good.
And is this to be less expensive than blinds?
Well, I think the maintenance is less and they're safer and a little, you can be assured that the things are screened off and nobody's fooling with them, you know, to
Right.
leave a gap that the practitioner would have to come in and make sure that everything's sealed up.
There's no like precedence problem here?
This is the precedent.
It's reversible.
I don't think the first one got in front of us, did it?
No. No,
I mean-
I don't recall.
They just heat them up and take them back off. It's reversible.
Yeah.
There's no
I mean, I don't know if you'd want it.
alteration.
It's on the
Have them put old doctors on there. I don't know.
No, I'm just,
It's not an issue from the standpoint of the stability of the glass treatment or anything.
Right.
It's protective in a way, as you
Yeah.
said, so.
And
It's
it'll be
removable.
applied on the inside face and.
I
the next tenant can peel it
understand
off.
what you're getting at, but I think there's a legitimate reason for it.
oh, I don't.
Because of the
I don't
type of
dislike- no,
occupancy.
I don't dislike it,
Yeah,
but if it was a tattoo parlor
And it had-
and it was gonna be blown up pictures of guys getting tattoos, we would feel the same way. It's reversible and next.
honestly, I think
We're to put graphic imagery on the.
I wouldn't necessarily care for it, but I think I would have the same opinion. It's reversible.
Okay. next place moves in, they,
Yeah, they rip that off and put
Yep,
whatever up, yeah.
yep. I make a motion to accept the application submitted.
I'll second it.
it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? If not, I call for a vote. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
The issue with that
Who
first one,
seconded that?
it was brought through as two applications.
I think that was Steve.
235 North Beaver Street and 32. You probably have a packet in there with the pictures.
Could be.
Yeah.
Who knows at this point in time? They're just all messed up.
Go get my coat.
Okay, next case, 130 East Gas Avenue.
Co-chair, we have Robert Schaefer, who is the owner of the property on, Zoom. And I believe you are the contractor?
Yeah, contractor.
Okay.
It says remove and replace shingles with asphalt certainty shingles. Remove what is left of the fascia and replace with white aluminum fascia. Can you add anything more to that?
We're also replacing the faseboards on the rakes. They're not in the best of shape. Other than that, it's fairly simple.
And is what's the faseboard gonna be? Material?
Pine number 2,
And then,
then it gets covered in aluminum.
yeah,
That's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah, we typically recommend against wrapping wood with aluminum just because that tends to exacerbate weathering issues with the wood itself.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
We typically recommend against wrapping wood, new applied or existing wood in metal. That kind of worsens the weathering of the wood inside the metal wrap.
Rots faster.
Yeah, we tend to recommend either wood just exposed or composite materials as well.
Okay.
For these types of properties.
or PVC.
PVC, yeah. Anything but vinyl.
Yeah. Party board or
And then
something.
it's white. If white's what you're looking for, you leave it like that.
Yeah, I mean, we should be able to do that.
Yeah, because that is, the existing is wood,
Zach, instead of wood.
what's left of it.
I just drove past one today where all but one section of the wrapping was blown off.
Yeah.
It's typically put on with little 3/4 inch white nails.
Yeah, just small trim nails.
Yeah, and plus if it is rotting away, you just can't see it.
Yeah. I mean, I think the one that's on there right now is pretty rotted.
Mm-hmm.
The metal blew off already.
Right.
Yep. Case in point. We also have a problem with asphalt shingles. So we're gonna, I think, recommend that they be architectural shingles.
It's a Timberline, it's a Timberline that we typically recommend.
Yeah.
The Timberline brand, I'd have to double check for the specific line that we recommend, but it's for the shadow lines. It's often when we're talking about re-roofing over, or to replace existing slate, just because it reproduces the shadow lines of a slate roof. But even in this case, even though the existing condition we're replacing appears to be asphalt
Yeah.
shingles.
There's a 3-tap shingle on there right now. I don't know if you guys have photos, but a good bit of it is blown off.
Yeah, that's asphalt.
Well, if it's asphalt 3 tabs now, it would be in kind to put it back on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't say that in the application, though. It just says replace shingles. Buildings of this vintage typically had slate.
No, this one doesn't have
Asphalt,
slate.
3 tabs now, okay.
Actually, well, we bought this, this roof as an original roof of our time of purchase, and that's just asphalt. We owned a house down the road at Queen Street that had slate roof. But this one never had slate on it when we bought it.
I'm okay with everything except for wrapping.
Yeah, we want to recommend a wood or composite or PVC material for the rake.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you really wrap it.
Yeah, we would probably use a Zach board if you guys.
And then submit that change to our office and we'll do it as a staff review.
Yeah, sure.
Well,
Project.
no.
Oh,
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve it except for wrapping the slate. They will have to submit to the building code official's office an alternative that's acceptable to the
Okay.
board
okay.
for a staff review. That's,
Yeah, I should be able to get that submitted tomorrow.
okay, yeah, I'm in tomorrow, so I can take a look at it. And I gotta work on wordier motions, so Nancy has to work harder.
Nancy, when you're done, I'll second that.
I got you a second.
Okay.
I got you a second. You go ahead.
That's approved and made and seconded.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? If not, I call for a vote. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Next case, 205 South George Street.
I have additional pictures if you guys need any.
Yes, please.
Oh, there's,
First picture is 215 South George, it's just showing what we've done in the past and what we're looking to do further down the street.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
I'm good. Thank you.
So the 205 is the cobblestone storefronts that are on each side of the cobblestone's entrance. And they're in disrepair. Looks to be done at one time with OSB, and it's just weathering pretty bad. The upper sections and the very bottom next to the sidewalk is masonry and is in decent shape and not really peeling paint too much. So we're really just looking to redo the wood areas. That's the trim of the glass, the area above the facade, and the doors will stay original. We'll just paint those. We're not looking to replace the glass at this point. It's really just to freshen up the front. And then the additional work into that would be just repainting the windows on the second and third level on that. And that would be done off a scaffold.
When you say OSB wood from
PVC. PVC. Currently it's OSB is what's on there. It's painted and it's just, it's all flaking off and folding and just warping.
What kind of facade was that?
It was just whatever they did. Half of it is like a plywood. It's like a stacked plywood that's just applied over like the next piece over the next piece. So they just kind of like routed the corners off in this square, applied that to the base of the front, and now that's just all deteriorating.
Looked really cool when they first did it.
Oh, yeah.
So if you take that off, what's there? Masonry?
No, just the back, just the wood framing. So that's what we did down at 205. There used to be a sign in front of that one, and then the storefront that was behind it was rotted away. So that's what's on the first page there. And we did the PVC board. We just recreated the existing facade in the PVC material, and we didn't paint it. We just left it white.
You said you're replacing all of the wood trim around the windows as well,
Yes,
and you're intending to do that in kind. I'm zooming in on the
Yep.
street view right now, I'm seeing kind of an arched detail over each.
exactly.
wall.
Yeah, we're just looking to reproduce everything in kind. The store or the facade where the marquee is, that's all masonry. That's just getting painted. It's the doors on the red, on the left and right of the center marquee. And I confirmed that we were just keeping the original glass that's in there at this time. We're not replacing it. We had replaced it down on the 215 address. Just really looking to freshen it up because it's kind of an eyesore.
PVC inappropriate material.
You can't tell it's not wood, so.
Okay,
We'll actually use the wood grain base of it. It won't be the smooth side.
okay.
That's what we did down the 215 address. It looks really good. If you would add paint to it, it would just give it that whole wood look to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good. I make a motion that we accept the application as submitted.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? If not, I call for a vote. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, board.
Good luck.
Next case, 118 South Pershing.
Evening, gentlemen.
Okay.
It's a cool little place.
Yeah, it's, we have a VA that's renting in there, and he's been a wonderful tenant and just trying to get everything cleaned up on the outside, replacing everything in kind with wood, nothing crazy. The only question I had was, our roofer believes he can salvage the slate, but not 110% sure until he pulls it off. So I did put in the request to replace with architectural shingle if that timber line is fine to use, if it's not repairable within a reason there. Just because trying to find something matching and equitable cost there to do that would be, similar neighbors have architectural shingles already in place. So just trying to be continuous to what's there. Not
Be
gonna-
really awesome if he could salvage them. That's
That's the goal.
a beautiful roof.
That's the goal. It's, until they start playing with them.
Right, where they crumble or
Yeah,
not.
you don't know if it's going to turn into, cookie dust or hang tight.
This has come up before, and I don't think anybody ever knew about it and did it.
It's done so commonly. It's a surprise if there's not a modern environment towards that.
And you can't like individually cut each other by hand.
Yeah.
Listen, my parents are still mad at me for being a kid throwing tennis balls against wood shaker shingles at the house with practicing lacrosse as a kid. So that's after 3 French windows got broken with the real lacrosse ball against the concrete pad. So, yeah.
So, looking here up close
Yes, sir.
at this, where the bird's nest is.
Yep. It's all. We're gonna relocate them to a safer area, I believe.
Is it
Habitat.
It's not typically.
might be on the list of state,
not our purview.
No, the pigeon I saw was, he was more hungry than anything the last time I was there, so.
And so you're gonna replicate that dental,
The dental molding's actually salvageable. It's that soffit that just really needs to be replaced under there. And the window trim is pretty basic. Anything that's ornate is staying. It's gonna be scraped and painted and,
It looks like you're missing a couple teeth.
we might, we'll see what we can do. If we have to, we'll replicate it as best as possible with,
Sure it's
yeah,
preserved.
yeah.
yeah, and on the left side, somebody did bless their heart wrapping with aluminum, and the little white nails already pushed out, ready to fall.
Yeah.
I think that was
little
a
house.
time before we owned it. So,
So no wrapping,
no. Wood and paint.
I make a motion that we approve the application. Is there
A second.
it's been moved and seconded, is there any further discussion? If not, I call for a vote, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Awesome.
What's the width of these rooms?
I don't remember off the top of my head, to be honest. It's,
Can you touch both walls?
no, you can't touch both walls. It's wider than a king bed. It goes,
15 feet probably?
Yeah, I bet.
they're much longer. They're longer rooms, the stairwell, so you walk in the door, you go right up the steps, it turns and goes up another set of steps to another room, and the bathroom's on the second floor there. So, but yeah, it's a cool little place.
Yeah,
Little back alley
Yep.
yard too, which is,
Oh, it is. It's a neat house.
all right. Thank you, gentlemen. Have a wonderful night.
have trouble moving a chest freezer in there, though.
Any major appliance pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, do that.
369.
Not catching everybody, they let them know it has to go to council next. So,
Oh, you're just a mess tonight, aren't you?
well, I can't believe it took hours to put all these packets.
We'll get through it.
Okay, the next case,
We do.
369 to 371 East Market Street.
I don't think anybody's here for that.
Huh. That's easy enough. Make a motion to table it.
Second.
Did we vote on that?
I think,
Greg always does
let's just vote on it and be done with it.
Noted regardless.
No,
Who seconded it?
I did.
Well, there's only one left.
What did you, take the vote after he seconded it?
Oh, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
There's one case left and one explanation, or one presentation.
Steam plant.
Yes, this is for a steam plant. Would you like to see my pictures, or did you get pictures?
I don't need it.
I'll take the pictures.
Go ahead.
So we have two different signs that we are proposing for the space. One is an existing sign that's at the main entry. And what we'd like to do is raise it up above the handrails so it's more visible. And then we'll place exterior channel signs in a steel channel, or lights, I'm sorry, that would reflect back on the signage on both sides. So that's the one. The other one is at the back parking lot. It's just directional signage to show people where to come into the parking lot. It's a little hard to find. It's off of West Gay Avenue.
This is after you make the turn in front of the Color Works building.
Right, yep,
and then there's the entrance into the parking lot.
correct. So there'd be a signage there just to make it clear that that's for the History Center, not for Color Works or anybody else, that's parking. for-
Facing Park Street.
No, it would be facing West Gay, but on a little bit of an angle, so,
Facing like northwest, no, it's
and then on the other side, it would indicate one way, that at this, we're thinking would be towards the west, or towards the east, I'm sorry. It's currently blocked because they're doing that apartment construction there. But we anticipate that that would end up being one way, but we would have to adjust per the city's direction when that construction fence comes down.
I think I've heard that 6 different ways so far, so.
And the parking sign, it's not illuminated.
No, it's just a wooden sign on 4x4s painted.
Okay, and,
Okay.
can you describe the lighting for the main sign? What's,
So there's a channel on the existing sign that faces out. So if you're looking at it in plan,
these will be like LEDs?
yes.
just rim with LED lighting, you can see that,
The acolyte,
Right,
Yeah,
And they,
Yep.
they go around.
right. So there's a channel, there is a channel that's facing out. And now, out of channel facing in, the sign is here, and the lights would go.
so this is the existing sign, they're just
So they'd light the
raising it
sign
up.
that way. You wouldn't actually be able to see the light
I'd have done
fixture
this
unless
as
you
a
come
staff
right
review.
looking
So it's,
behind the channel.
and so now it's satisfied.
Well, the sign in the back, I guess.
Externally illuminated
what are these pictures?
That's
west.
Why is this in my packet?
Right, the goal is to get some light on it without the light
Not
itself
a
being
clue.
visible,
Oh,
and without the
that might be the
sign
presentation.
being backlit. That's the idea.
Internally.
Correct, yeah, sorry.
So it will not be internally,
No,
still exterior.
Right.
Yeah, they wrap the
Yeah.
sign in the channel.
Right, so this is the sign, and the light fixture would be
Yeah.
in that channel, so you wouldn't be
Yes.
able to see it
Yep.
unless
Yeah.
you kind of looked into the channel.
So since I forgot to tell everybody else or whatever, it has to go to council after this, but you're also gonna need to get sign permits and zoning regulation for this.
I would move to accept as submitted.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, I call for a vote. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Who's seconded?
Blake,
We smoked this.
Stephen Teachout.
That wasn't as bad as it looked at the beginning, was it?
It's true, yes. I wasn't number 19. Yeah. Well, good. Well, this isn't a case. So I own the 1 North George building on the square. And so I talked to Nancy originally, maybe about a month ago. We were just chatting, and that's really the purpose for this. Not a presentation tonight. Just introduce myself and kind of what the plan is, what's going on. Potentially in the future, I did submit a couple photos, but potentially in the future. So we've been going through plans. So originally we went with warehouse firm to put in our restaurant idea. Then they negated to tell me how much it would cost. So we went to, we selected.
I said when I looked at the menu too.
Yeah, you should have seen my menu. So we went to Warfel and we got a quote. It was about $12 million to put a restaurant. So that doesn't really align with my thought process. So
Can't understand that.
it's shocking. And we are a North Carolina company. And so I'm kind of used to North Carolina prices. And so so that would have been about 5 million where I'm at, which is fine. So the option B is putting up our restaurant, which we're currently building in Lancaster right now at the FNB, Franklin Marshall College, FNC, Franklin Marshall College.
F&M.
FNM.
F&M, yeah, they call it F&M, yeah.
Yeah, I know Benjamin is in there somewhere. So it's called Runway 9, and we're putting it, it's an aviation-themed restaurant. So it's grab and go, touch screens, pizza in Mediterranean bowls, similar to Cava. Also doing a breakfast, which is nice. So it's next to Lululemon, Iron Horse, that building, it's called College Row. And so we'll be open in about a month. So that was the first endeavor for the restaurant. So our goal is to put a second location here in the bank project, Runway 9. You may have seen the news. Asheville, where we're at, was decimated, taken off the map. It doesn't exist anymore. So I'm up here actually this week looking for a new location to move my tech company. So I put an offer on a building. This has nothing to do with HARB, but yeah, it was declined. The Mennonite Control Board, or whichever they're called, bought it instead. So I'm in a kind of a neutral spot right now where I'm moving my company. We didn't expect to do that, but I am actually moving it up north here. Love Asheville before. So it actually picked our house up and took it. It's gone. It doesn't exist. The land is gone too. And it actually carved half of the mountain out. So the roads are gone. So good time to move. Back to the bank, when we do get our feet kind of planted again, one of the issues that I never liked about the building was that the entrance was just so consolidated. So you have a very small vestibule in the front. It's ornate, it has an eagle and a crest above it. And when you're inside the bank, if you've been in there, I'm sure you have, is the windows start at about 12 feet off the ground and go up. So it feels like you're in a cave. So I've been trying to open it up as much as possible. So one of the things I would like to do potentially, did you print out the photo? Oh, okay, is potentially, there's a grid pattern above the door, a window. I'd like to take that all the way down to the ground. And what I'd like to do is basically put a glass cube in place of the vestibule. So it would be another vestibule, just a lot wider, all glass. In contrast with the architecture, I purchased the bank originally just because I fell in love with the architecture of it, and so that is my essentially baby. Is what I'm. Just wish I'd been able to do it sooner and quicker, but. So when we do come up with a good plan, I'll submit that. And I didn't want it to be, this is the plan, what do you think? I did want to have a variety of people involved in the planning of it. Like, what do you think, type thing, instead of yay or nay.
Why do we have all those historical stained glass pictures?
Oh, okay. Those are on the inside. So we have a building on the back. It's called the Baker Building, and that came in conjunction with that. Inside it is a stained glass, and it's the history of York. And so I wanted to.
Cut in half when the bank building was.
Correct. So I want to donate those to the right place, and so I've submitted these photos so we could take them down in. It's a strange building in the back, and it's not the actual bank proper. It's another building in the back. But
Can you see these from public?
The lady for.
no,
And what they did, they effectively turned the Baker building when they sliced it right down the middle when they built the bank. They turned it into kind of an outbuilding for the bank. It had some offices and supply rooms, and there's still some old industrial kind of like barn door type things that you would see.
it's recessed into the building.
There's it's not accessible, it steps down into the basement when you walk off the street, it's a very odd building.
Yeah.
And you can't really make out the stained glass windows from the street side, because I guess the intention is that the light comes in from the street and projects the pictures into the, inside the building. I've
That's
seen
right.
these, so that's.
It is a strange, I have no idea what it used to be, and that stained glass is recessed.
It might have been a conference room or some sort
Huh.
of meeting space or something. Yeah, based on the history of the bank. I worked with Mike when I was at Warehouse on the historical research for the.
Oh.
bank, so.
Okay, well then, yeah, they were great, and so we did demo on the interior, and so of course we kept those. So if you know of a great home for those, we will remove them when it's appropriate.
Why wouldn't you keep them and incorporate them into the bigger picture?
So that's actually a separate building that's attached to the.
Do you own the building?
I do. It came with the package. So I call what's called the 70s building to the right of the bank proper. And so that was actually built in 1964, steel building, and they tried to have the architecture mimic the bank, and they failed. So that's another obstacle at some point. But then the Baker building is next to Revival in the rear. I could integrate it into the bank proper in the future, but I didn't want to break it. I don't want to, I think they're extremely unique.
Yeah.
So I don't want anyone to touch them until we know.
Yeah,
So-
I would envision maybe a banquet room. Is it large enough for?
Could be a divider between something and something.
In the bank?
Yeah, well, in the restaurant.
Oh, in the restaurant.
Your $12 million restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be
Other
12.1.
source of revenue there.
Yeah, I mean, they are, like, there's got to be a great, not a good place, a great place for them. It's maybe they're,
Back to the entrance you started with.
that's right, yeah.
Which entrance is that?
So the front, the bank proper, the main entrance into the building,
On the square.
on the square.
Faces south.
Yes,
It's below the eagle and the double, the
Yeah.
double height arch.
Yeah.
So the door, the entrance faces south,
correct.
okay?
The Christmas tree, it faces the Christmas tree right now.
Okay. The fattest tree ever.
Yeah, it's a good looking tree.
The wide one is.
Okay, and so you're wondering if what you're suggesting, we would be amicable about,
And your proposal is to effectively take this entrance and partially enclose it beyond what is sort of its current step out from the arch in some kind of like glass box?
Probably about 3 feet south, 3 feet forward. So the vestibule is extremely small. And here's the problem that I have, originally is the nightclub fire that happened, a couple fires that have happened, that is the biggest choke point. So if we're gonna have a big restaurant, a lot of people, New Year's Eve, someone yells bomb, heading out the front door, it is the massive choke point. So not only, for humans and for lights. So it's a 50-50. So
And that would severely reduce your occupant load of the restaurant because you have, half of your occupant load has to be able to evacuate through the main entrance. So,
oh, I didn't know that, really.
Back exit off George Street.
yeah.
That's true.
Onto the stairs, but it's not accessible.
Well, actually, so the side entrance is great because there's no vestibule. It's a double door swing out. Everyone just evacuates, but which is great. And if it was there too, I'd bring that up, but it's not.
Let me ask you this. Bring up a legitimate point about the choke point. Extending the vestibule still leaves that choke point in place, it's just further recessed.
Actually not. So the current doors are only like 24 inches wide, 28 inches wide. So we would go with a full, Whopper door, a double Whopper door, so we could open them up, and I would pull vehicles inside. So for instance, I bought an airplane last week, and we're going to take it apart, and we're going to hang it from the ceiling. So that's not small. Also, we were going to put antique, I like antique vehicles. That's why I bought the bank. So I've got like a 1946 6x6. I would like to pull it in. So every month I actually wanted to rotate vehicles as well inside the bank. Just anyone that has an amazing vehicle in York, bring it in, we'll rope it off. So have more access, more light, just more ingress, egress. But
So you'd be physically widening the,
correct.
yeah, I think that's what you were.
I thought it was, he originally said an internal.
Right.
motif trim sort of along the. We could look at, are you envisioning removing that?
I would want to remove everything, including the shield, including everything, and replace it with a glass box, essentially.
Okay, yeah, I think the extent of demolition that you're probably proposing is not something that we would be okay with, considering the historic nature of the facade. All that's original to the 1924 building.
It is, yeah.
Not that, it's sort of not diminishing the value of your points, but that is historic fabric.
Maybe the crest, for instance, and the shield, and the eagle, and the
Well, perhaps
flag.
a plan that preserves
That.
the view of this, while perhaps maybe just removing the doors,
or just widening the vestibule only, or maybe keeping the crest in and all that, but not the. So the best way to picture it is that there's currently a grid pattern window above all of this. I would like for that grid pattern, it's quite wide, to be the exact same width as the new vestibule. So it's a darker color and just widen it out. The crest,
Possibly relocate that.
or keep it, or put it back after we're done
Yeah,
type thing.
yeah.
in some way to be able to
It's very,
Cast in place, or is it removable?
it's a good question.
That's true too.
Might have to be chiseled off.
Yeah, right, it could be fragile.
Never gonna
Yeah.
Right, right.
forever.
And it suits that purpose of the bank, but
Yeah, yeah.
we're not a bank.
Well,
Yeah, well,
I can't appreciate how small it is.
So when
for a mere $3 million,
Oh, yeah.
you could probably take the whole block off.
yeah, I mean, I think we'd probably want to see you entertain some kind of look at that as far as whether it could be
Preserved.
removed and relocated up, something like that. Because we certainly wouldn't want to lose that.
I'm wondering, that vestibule steps, it's smaller and further out projected from what appears to be an original entrance to the building with taller set doors. I'm wondering what the actual date of that vestibule
Entrance.
is. I'm not certain.
That was my question, too.
1924, I'm not sure that might be the case. It's second guessing myself here.
Because we would like the lines of the grid window to come all the way down instead of like this, like it currently is. It is strange that there's a big, beautiful bay window above, then it chokes into a small vestibule. I don't even think they had vestibules back in '24.
Well,
They choked it down so the bank robbers couldn't get away
that's
quick.
exactly what happened.
That could be a really good point.
During that era.
It's a security.
Yeah, that could be a really good point.
Yeah.
Vestibule that was tacked onto the front, so he could perhaps remove, I don't know, but again, it's all historical.
Yeah. And I'm definitely open to something more ornate, instead of just a glass box, but it's just kind of,
Well, that could be something to discuss as well. But for example, there's a school out in the West End, now it's not in the HARB district, but it has a beautiful cast of the city seal on the side of the building. Where they're gonna have to put windows for light for the apartments they're putting in. They're actually gonna cut that out and move it to the front of the building and illuminate it and, make a big deal out of it because it's so ornate.
yeah, I wonder if we could even just cut the vestibule out, keep everything else the same. There are two,
The stone opening beyond it, the larger sort of.
I do have to go wider though, underneath of the,
The width you need, just speaking from a code standpoint, you might get the width you need for a greater amount of egress and assembly type occupancy.
Well, but he needs to fly an airplane through it.
pretty cool airplane.
The fuselage anyhow. Right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I think we need a field trip.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we need a feel for it.
Yeah, and so do I. Yeah, I need a feel for what HARBs, what's important to you, you know?
I mean, and anybody interrupt me, please, but I feel like generally our intention is to preserve historic fabric. And what is it is not historic fabric is sometimes subject to interpretation. Like we have a vestibule that was probably built 10, 20 years after the original building.
Yep.
So is it less historic, is it more historic? So many of these are subjective. We have to start with the approach of preserving and maintaining as much as possible, not necessarily starting from a point of, this is what we want and how much can be demolished to get it. This is what we have, how much can be preserved.
Okay, good.
Still achieving what we need to. Because you can achieve exactly what you need to, a wider exit, more accessible, more welcoming, bringing more daylight in. You can achieve that with the existing facade that you've got if things are shuffled around tactfully.
Okay.
How that's done, you know, we don't know what that is at this point, but.
That's a good description. Theoretically, what if we were able to, and haven't explored this yet, but theoretically, what if we were able to put that back exactly the way it looks, but new? So you take our vestibule, you take the ornate, everything identical, just make it white. So essentially what I would do is take it all out, except for this, put it back, but everything would be identical to what was there before. Just make it wider. Right, maintain. Just wider and deeper. Yeah, because one door actually almost touches the other when you walk in.
Yeah, yes.
It's tight. It's tight.
30,000 feet, that is certainly a possibility.
Yeah.
Generally, as long as it's done in the spirit of preservation and tactfully so, respecting the facade as it is.
Okay.
I agree. I think it would not hurt to, once you get things settled down and stabilized and whatnot, to arrange for the board to visit the building.
That'd be great.
You can show us live and in person what your thought process is and vice versa.
That'd be great, because now I have a little bit better understanding. We've never met before, so this is day one, so this is a good starting point. Good.
That was a fun day in the office for me, the historic research on that bank. It's a very cool building.
Yeah, you should. We've been buying things on eBay, postcards, and just various, framing them. Yeah, so every little thing about that bank, we've been kind of harvesting. So it's been pretty fun. It's absolutely amazing.
So vehicles you envision putting into place, is this going to be on a rotating basis?
I thought about it. So, like for instance, like
Holden motor car.
so for instance, for the fall season, the harvest season, Thanksgiving, whatnot. Yeah. So we would I'm just going to give you an example of a vehicle that we would pull in, and we would decorate it, even if we had to pull a vehicle in for Christmas as well. Here.
So these would not be stacked displays?
No, so we're putting like wine barrels in here, and then we're decorating it with, for the season. So I bought this vehicle basically just to display it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Then we so I bought giant wine barrels, and we're putting, the name of the restaurant on the side, as if it was a winery or a brewery or something. Then just old artifacts, whatever those. I haven't even thought of the things that we plan on doing.
I was so hoping he put the roof, he'd get the roof.
Is that a Norton? Oh, wow. I got that right.
My wife is telling me to ask you.
Well, I know a place for it. Like, no kidding. I would love to buy a Norton.
Yeah, well, it's for sale.
Huh. Mark. All right, well,
You're already in 12, maybe, what the hell's the motor?
yeah, it's true. Yeah, so we're like in the spirit of Christmas, we're like pulling in a giant sleigh, or it's just, it's just so big and there's so much volume, we have to fill the volume. So, all right, well, good. That gives me just some thought, and when I'm looking at it, I just know where to go from this point.
Much better than Lancaster, no matter what anybody else says.
We got a great work pool. Well, that's one of the reasons why we're moving. Well, that's kind of the main reason, or the only reason, is the workforce here. People move to Asheville to be lazy. It's like, it's the point. Like, that's why they go there. So, you know, oh, that was in Hickory, yeah, and that's gone. So Asheville's a beautiful place, hiking and restaurants, and it's not a place where people go to get a job. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So it'd be.
It's your idea to coalesce, I mean, stay in touch with us? Yeah. And I guess arrange a meeting whenever.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be good.
You could, again, get settled in, reach out to Nancy and let her know, and maybe we can set something for us to meet you at the property and take a peek.
Yeah, that'd be great. It's close.
Because I know a lot of, I'm not sure how many, you're familiar with it, but
I've never been
it's
there.
been a while.
Oh, I'll take it. Oh, and we've demoed it on the inside. So we took out all the offices. We took out all the weird stuff from the 70s building side, the carpet and the weird things. I had the bank. That was, that thing. Yeah, the vault. So I had Kleppers go in there, and they've been in there for about the last year. And I've been restoring the vault. Yeah, didn't need to. Yeah, so, I mean, we're talking hand polishing everything. They're still there.
I used to work for Deagle, so.
Really?
The old vault was probably.
I was there when you had all the parts on the towel, because he opened up the door.
Oh, okay.
And all that stuff, so, yeah,
Yeah, so I wanted to preserve it, you know, keep it, it's so authentic, you know, like you will never have a piece of metal that big, ever, again. It is a York Safe and Lock. The reason I know that is because we were building a new office for my tech company. So we solve murders. That's kind of the main business that we're in, is solving murders. So we have hard drives terabytes and terabytes and terabytes. So we have to store them. So I said, well, I need a vault. It's like, I know where there's a vault. So I looked at that door. I'm like, yeah, it's not coming out of here. So I found a bank in Delaware, somewhere in Delaware, and I bought the vault, and I shipped it to North Carolina. So I actually have a vault right now, a door that happens to be York Safe and Lock as well. I didn't know until I acquired it. So,
everything for like 30 years and then we stopped.
well, the irony to it is that I was building this office in Nashville. Well, now it's coming back up here. So my vault door will come back up here 100 years later. That's crazy.
So that's Deagle.
Are you looking to relocate into an existing building?
We put an offer on a place in Akron, north of Lancaster. It was 64,000 square feet. It was kind of like a shoe factory, kind of like the warehouse building. Really cool, you know, wood. I just like the historical. I don't want a steel building, so this was just so unique. Put a full price offer in, 50 grand over. The Mennonite Central Committee came in, took my bid and threw it out the window, and they bought it. So no building. So I had a beautiful cover letter that said, hey, I'm in dire need. I can pump the hell out of this community with economic growth. But all my jobs are high-paying jobs. That they're all tech. We're growing like weeds. We're doing an IPO in the next couple of years, and I'll buy it whatever price you want. No. Okay.
Seems like you have a very diverse business.
Yeah, it's a business that was an accident that I got into. So, you know, a lot of people come to me and they have, like, I've got a good idea. Usually I tell them it's probably not, because the market will tell you if it is or not you. So we got into I built one of my tsunami systems, and I patented it, sold it, gave it to one police department, and they said, this is awesome, we'll take more. And then it's been gangbusters ever since then. So we've solved probably 150 murders. We have about 5 shootings a day that we solve. We have license plate recognition, but the great thing about the camera system that it's a set it and forget it. It's not preemptive. It won't stop the crime, but it will solve it. And the good thing is that you don't need humans staring at cameras, you know, because we have like we're doing the entire Washington DC. So I just got that contract this week, which will be out of here. So we're doing the whole district, everything. Do you think you can have a person stare at a monitor? And no, of course not. So, yes, yeah.
Facial recognition.
So we don't do facial recognition actually on purpose. And the reason why is because a couple people in Congress mentioned that that could be used, you're archiving someone's data, kind of against their will. And a big one of our customers is the Housing Authority. And so you're basically harvesting data. And I don't want to be in that business. I want to be in the crime solving business. I don't want to be in the, you took my picture and I'm now going to sue you business. So.
The Wise store that we go to, when you walk in, there's the screen with this little orange box around your face, and when you move, that orange box moves with you. And I was just asking somebody about, is that facial recognition?
It absolutely is.
And I get various answers about it.
Yes. And they're selling it.
In other words, if somebody shoplifted at another Wise store,
It'll alert them that you came in another store and
well, somebody told me there's nobody to alert because there's nobody there to do that.
So they're not using it to
So
escape.
I don't know who to believe.
Huh. Yeah, it's, well, there's data brokers out there that sell that data. And so they harvest your face and they say, you're a white male, long hair, about 6'1". Okay, you shop at this place. Now you just get put into a category and then they'll harvest that data and they'll set it. So if more, than facial hair, so then if there's a lot of people with facial, there'll be less Gillette, razors for sale in that particular Wise. So there's a lot of harvesting that goes. I just don't want to be in that business. Yeah, yeah. They can still see you. Yeah. Well, good.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, it was good.
Appreciate it and look forward to walking through the building again.
Do you have a card real quick? I actually would like to talk about your Norton.